Now, if it's between heart and mind, okay? Now, which one would you follow most of the time? What do you think? What do you think? A lot of you saying heart, actually. I challenge every single one of you who keeps saying heart. It's tough. It's tough. It takes courage. It takes strength, you know? It's tough. Let me tell you something. Every single thought that you have, where does it come from? Your thought. Mind is part of the physical mind. The physical mind is a programming. If I stood up here today and you looked at me and you had an opinion of me, you think that's your opinion? That's not your opinion. That is because somebody's talked about somebody like this and then suddenly you have an opinion. It's not your opinion. All of this will always be programmed. This is the brain. The heart here is the flow of energy and is felt through heart. This is the flow of energy. Some people call it chakra system, whatever you want to call it. Is felt, not thought. It's feeling, not thought. Thought is pre-programming. Now, so what happens is like this. Let me ask you this question. Is baby mostly when they first come into this world, are they mostly in feeling or thought? Are they thinking using mind or are they using heart to decide what they're doing? Feeling. So they're on free flow, they're going. They're doing what they want when they want, just like that. What happens is then conditioning comes in. And by the way, don't think that, shit, we shouldn't have been conditioned. Actually, it's part of the game. There would be no reason for a human game if you weren't conditioned in the first place. This is what, a lot of people, this is very high level of consciousness we're talking about here. I'll tell you this. One level of consciousness is positive consciousness, which is the majority of consciousness, how it is in today's society. And what they'll say is, love always wins. Positivity always wins. It's not true. I know you like it to be true, it's not true. Somebody who hates somebody can kill somebody. Where did you see love win? It didn't always win in that situation. It makes a good meme. It makes a good Instagram post. People like to share that stuff, right? It feels good. Love always wins. But it's not true. That is only one level of consciousness. Love always wins. One level of consciousness, right? One level of consciousness is to say, hey, we are spiritual. We should be free spirit. It's not true. Because let me tell you something. The moment you exit, you're free spirit. That's not the reason why you're in human experience. You think you came into a human physical limitation experience just so that you need to be free to exit, right? You came here for the experience of this. Some people say, oh my God, the education system is all screwed up. Why do they feed all humans these things when they're growing up, right? Why don't they start personal development nice and early so everybody can be free spirit? That's one level of consciousness. I'm not saying it's not good consciousness, it's a good level. Today, this morning, we're not talking about that level of consciousness. We're talking about the highest level of consciousness. Seeing everything as is, not worse than it is. We call it as-ising. And when we see it that way, what we start to understand, if people were really free spirits and there was no rules in the game, there was no limitations, nobody put obstructions in your way, let me tell you something, there would be no point in this human game at all. There'd be no point. So the game is programmed. So the moment you come in at level 1, select your character. All right, this is level 1. I'm going to mark this down now. Make sure to take notes because we're going to get into this now. In level 1 of the game, what is this? This is learning your character. Learning your character, learning your environment, learning how these arms, legs work, learning how the brain functions, learning how you feel, think, learning this character, and learning the environment. That's level 1. Level 2, this is your 0 to 7 years. What happens in level 2? This will be, the game will start bringing a lot of different characters into your life to do what? To condition the mind for the human experience. So they will give you your teachers, your parents, the lessons. This is how to play the game. By the way, you gotta learn how to play the game. You gotta learn the restrictions, right? You think free spirit, imagine this, right? You go everywhere to eat, you're eating, you're chewing with your mouth open, you're burping when you want, it's not gonna, the whole thing would be chaos. It doesn't happen that way. So you need to learn what the boundaries are and what the restrictions are. So that's the condition on, by the way, these are the rules of the game. Right. Then we start. Now this is how the game plays. Now this conditioning, the challenges start happening, right? Then level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, more challenges start to happen. More. Each time you get up this ladder, your challenges become bigger. I want to make you extremely, extremely aware of this. I'll give you an example. Elon Musk, he's at a high level of the game. He's at a high level of the game. Now, let's put it this way. How many of you have ever dealt with money problems before? Money problems. Right? Debt. Anybody dealt with debt before? Okay. Now, think of your number. Right? Just for yourself. Don't need to type it. So how much in debt you were, you think for yourself. Okay. Anyway, Elon Musk, he did the truck, the Tesla truck. Anybody see it? He did the launch. Ball on glass smash. What happened that day? He lost $450 million. One accident, $450 million he lost. The game doesn't get any easier. Why? Because higher highs equals higher lows. Right? Lower lows. Higher highs equals lower lows. This is the way the curve works. So let's have a look at this now. You are free spirit. The way your path should actually work and should actually look like is like this. That is your most successful path. Becoming on the seeker's journey, that is your most successful path. Right? So it's higher highs, higher lows. That is your most successful path. Think of it. If you were playing a game, is level 6 easier than level 1 or harder than level 1? Are the challenges bigger than level 1 or smaller than level 1? They're bigger. Otherwise, there's no point in the game. You'll be like, man, this stuff is getting boring now. Too easy. So you wouldn't want to play that game. Everybody inhale. Slow exhale. How do you actually find your soul purpose and your true purpose is by following energy. By following energy. By following feeling only. And every single time you get higher highs, there'll be higher lows. Why is it that every time you have higher highs and higher lows? Let me tell you something. It's very simple. We covered before. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Energy is vibration. This is all science. Energy is vibration. Vibration, how does vibration move? Vibration travels this way here. This is how vibration travels. Is this true? Right? Some people, they want a peaceful line. Can I just have peace all the time? right? Do you know what it would look like? Peace all the time. Do you know what this means? This is why they say, rest in peace, my dear. You get what I'm saying? Game over. This is flatlining. This is flatlining. You want to have peaceful time? This is flatlining. You will not enjoy this process. There's no reason to it. Now, then another thing you need to understand is like this. Why is it that when it goes this way, it needs to go this way? It needs to go this way. It needs to go this way, right? Why is it? Why is it that if this went here, then this needs to go here? Why is that happen? Because everything must be in balance. Balance is for existence. Balance is for existing. By the way, I'm preparing you because you guys say you want to be, how many of you want to be successful in life, right? How many of you want to achieve abundance in life? How many of you want to experience more in life? Raise your hand nice and high, right? I'm saying this because I'm preparing you. Don't think that, oh my God, then everything will be happy days every single. No, because your challenges will get bigger. It will get bigger. The bigger the high, the lower the low. The higher the high, the lower the low. It's for balance. It must exist. Now when we understand this, it helps us. This is consciousness now. Because it means, right, we come to this big word here, which is acceptance. Acceptance that life will always be high and low. Accepting is seeing everything as is. We call as-ising, right? This is our practice, as-ising. Not worse than it is, not better than it is, as-ising. Meaning this challenge that just came in isn't bad, is not good, is there for existence to happen. In the same way, death happens. In exactly the same way, birth happens. Births happen, deaths happen. Right? Lucky stories happen, chaos, dramatic, right? Global crisis happens. All these things happen. Everything happens in balance. If there was not balance, existence would cease, finish. I'm talking about human existence. Everybody inhale. Slow, exhale.